Watch. Salve. This is where the story of Rome began, in a little town in the centre of Italy. But as the years went by, the Romans began to spread out. First, they conquered Italy, and then all of this area here, until finally they got as far as Britain itself. And no one could stop them, for one simple reason. The Romans had the best armies in the world. The Roman soldiers were drawn from every corner of the empire, and they were very well trained for war. Everywhere it was the same story. The local people would fight bravely, but the Roman soldiers would be too strong for them. The Romans' weapons were too good, and they were too well organized. Sooner or later, each chieftain would be forced to throw down his sword and surrender. The generals would be led back to Rome in chains, and the Roman Empire would have grown a little bigger. What was it like to be a Roman soldier? Well, that's what they're learning in the school today. So let's say the spell and go and join them. Romans first and Romans last, out of the present and into the past. Here they come.
We fight with every foeman. We bow the knee to no man, and now we're marching home.
Salve, children.
Salve.
Is your teacher here?
Yes, he is. Didn't you recognise me?
No, I didn't.
I've been putting on my old soldier's uniform. They always enjoy that. Right, children, stand down now.
Were you in the army then?
Well, I certainly was. I spent 20 years with the Eagles before I retired to become a schoolmaster.
Ah, the Roman eagles, I've heard of them. They were like flags, weren't they?
Yes, in a way. There are 6,000 men to a legion, and each legion carried an eagle in front of it, like this one. It's a model I made for the children. The eagle is the bravest of birds, and with an eagle in front of him, the Roman legionary is the bravest of soldiers. What is he?
The bravest of soldiers.
Well, you certainly look very smart.
Yeah, not bad, eh?
Yes, good solid metal plates. And I see your helmet gives plenty of protection too.
Yes, it's got a flap at the back to protect the neck, and cheek pieces at the side.
Can I have a look at your sword?
Certainly.
Thank you. Oh, it's quite heavy, isn't it? And a nasty edge to it.
Nasty? It depends whose side you were on. It's swords like this that won the empire.
Yes, I suppose so. And what did you wear on your feet? Sandals?
Yes, with big nails in them. To make them last. Because we've got a lot of marching to do. In fact, that was the first thing they made us do when we joined up. Left, right. 20 miles a day to toughen us up.
Cool. What else did you have to do?
Well, we learned how to ride and how to swim.
To swim?
Oh, yes. A legionary had to be able to swim. And then there was weapon training. Hours we'd spend thrusting away at that pole to get our aim right. And we also practiced attacking in tortoise formation with our shields above our heads.
Why was it called tortoise formation?
I'll show you. Livia, go and get Fabius. Now, this is Fabius, our pet tortoise. And if you look at his back, you'll see he's protected by overlapping plates. Well, that's how we used to arrange our shields, in tortoise formation, so that the enemy spears and arrows couldn't hit us when we were attacking them. Back you go, Fabius.
Oh, I see. So, what did you have to do after you'd finished your training?
Oh, well, we went off to invade an island. Funny little place called Britain. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
Yes, I think I have. Are you going to tell me how it happened?
Yes.
Yes. They like hearing about this. All right, take a seat, James. Right, for the last time then. Now, Britain is an island, so we had to cross over by ship. It was rough weather, and I can tell you, I wasn't feeling too good when I got to the other side. But luckily, there were no enemy forces waiting to attack us when we arrived. We just stepped out of the ships onto the shore. We marched inland till we had our first taste of fighting at the River Medway. The Britons were waiting for us on the other side, and we had a job to battle our way across. Most of us had to swim the river, so our training had soon paid off. After that, we came to another river, the River Thames. This time, we built a bridge of boats and marched across. We were in good company. We had the Emperor Claudius with us by now, together with his squadron of elephants. He brought them over to Britain to scare the locals. They frightened me, so heaven knows what they did to the natives. Claudius only stayed in Britain a fortnight, and then he went all the way back to Rome again. He didn't seem to like the British weather. But most of us had to put up with it a good deal longer than that. Britain was a mass of hill forts, and they all had to be captured.
Were you wounded at all?
I certainly was. Shall I show you my scar?
Yeah.
I picked up that spear thrust through the leg.
Oh, nasty.
Well, they could fight all right, those Britons. But one by one, the tribes surrendered, and finally, we captured their best general, Caratacus.
Oh, what happened to him?
He was taken back to Rome in chains to be shown off to the Roman people. Must have been horrible for him, but he stood his ground, and he told the proud Romans a thing or two. "Why destroy my country?" he said. "What harm did we ever do to you?" And you must admit he had a point. The emperor was impressed. So impressed that he freed Caratacus from his chains and gave him a fine house to live in near Rome. An honourable end for an honourable man.
And what happened to you?
Oh, it was back to Rome for the triumph. After a successful campaign, the armies returned to Rome and marched through the triumphal arch with the prisoners and treasure that they've captured. And that's something I can tell you. 1 million Romans cheering their heads off, and you're in the middle of it.
Nowadays, when there's something that a country wants to celebrate or remember, it usually issues some new stamps. Here's a stamp about the royal wedding. Here's a World Cup stamp. And here's one celebrating the Queen Mother's birthday. Now, the Romans didn't have stamps, so when they wanted to commemorate something, they would issue some new coins instead. Here's one of the coins that the Emperor Claudius issued to celebrate his victories in Britain. You can just see the triumphal arch. And here's another Roman coin from a bit later. It also celebrates the conquest of Britain. Now, do you feel that you've seen it before? Well, what about a 50p coin? Yes, it's the same figure. The Britannia figure on our coins is copied from the old Roman coins. Right, time now to hear the rest of Quintus's story. Tell me, Quintus, what happened to you after the triumph?
Oh, it was back to Britain again. I left the nice warm Italian sun and went back to the mist and the fog.
Where were you based?
Oh, several places. But the furthest north I ever went to was a place called Hardknot. Would you like to see it?
I'd love to.
Well, that shouldn't be too difficult. Away you go, children. Lessons are over for the day. Time to break camp. Form up. Each time we broke camp, the general would ask us the same questions 3 times. Are you ready, men?
Yes, sir.
Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Away you go.
Hold high the eagles, we're marching back to Rome. Hold high the eagles, the legion's going home. Each man's a Roman, we fight with every foeman. We bow the knee to no man.
I'll just get my helmet tied on and we'll be away as well.
Right.
All set?
All set.
And away we go. Well, here we are. Hard not fought.
Ah.
Or what's left of it.
It's terrific. No soldiers anymore, I see, but plenty of sheep. It's square-shaped, isn't it?
Yes, that's right. All our forts were like that. With 4 gates, one on each side. Come on, let's take a stroll outside.
Okay. Does all this bring back memories, Quintus?
It certainly does.
The walls are made of stone, I see.
Yes. They've fallen down a bit since my day, but they were good and solid once upon a time. And they needed to be. Do you see those mountains?
Yes.
They were swarming with enemies. If you strayed too far from the safety of the fort, you could soon end up in trouble. We lost several of our patrols like that.
Really? What were you supposed to be doing up here, anyway?
Oh, we'd been sent up to build a road.
Ah, road building.
Yeah, Roman soldiers are builders as well as fighters, you know. And the army prides itself on its roads. Let's sit down a bit. My old legs are getting a bit tired.
Oh, it's a lovely view. Ah.
Yes. This is where I used to sit after a hard day's work on the road.
Did the road building take up all of the time?
Oh, no.
What else did you do?
What do soldiers always do? Drill, drill, drill. Every day throughout the empire, the legions would be drilling away.
Liam! Sinistrosi! Converte! Unum! Ordinem! Silas! Interam! Gladius! Stringice! Pro! Verte! Ucha!
It must have got very boring.
I suppose it did. But you had to stay in good shape. You see, every now and then, the natives would creep up and attack one of our work parties. When that happened, the alarm would sound and we'd go charging off through the front gate to have a go at them. Some of those natives were tough characters. I tell you, there were times when we had a hard time of it. But usually we came off best in the end.
I expect you were glad when you'd finished building the road.
Oh, by Jupiter, yes. Especially when we were called home. We set off down that valley, and then we really sang our heads off.
Is that the song you were teaching the children?
Yes. Do you remember how it went?
Yeah, I think so. Shall we give it a try?
Why not?
Okay. Hold high the eagles, we're marching back to Rome. Hold high the eagles, the legion's going home. Each man's a Roman, we fought with every foeman. We bowed the knee to no man, and now we're marching home.
We marched along the Roman road to build a British wall. We marched along the Roman road to fight a war in Gaul. We marched along the Roman road to bridge the river Rhine. And now we're marching home again to drink our Roman wine. Hold high the eagles, we're marching back to Rome. Hold high the eagles, the legion's going home. Each man's a Roman, we fought with every foeman. We bowed the knee to no man, and now we're marching home. Hold high the eagles, we're marching back to Rome. Hold high the eagles, the legion's going home.